up,
What up,
dog?
though, people?
What up, dog, cousins?
Man, we here for episode 7, dog. I never thought we would get here at this point. The way this stream yard been acting up on us, man.
Uh-oh, the shade,
Feel
the
good to be
shade,
back in the mix,
the
live,
shade. So,
live in the mix. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Cousins, man. Y'all already know what time it is. This is when me and Dom get together and pop our best. You know what? On conversations and topics that might not be so easy for y'all, but they hilarious to us.
you know what?
So you already know what topic it is, man. Get ready to get into dope conversation with dope people. I'm gonna let Dom introduce herself. Let the people know who you is, where they can find you.
Yes, yes. Hey, family. Of course, you already know I am Dom, and you can find me on IG at Dom in Real Time.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all already know it. I'm Hope. You can find me everywhere at Hope. Literally, like everything is my name, Hope Watkins. Like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. The only thing that ain't my name is my email, but I even got an email that's Hope Watkins. So that's where you can find me everywhere. Hope Watkins, man. It might be some different variation of it, like Hope Watkins 92 or something like that.
What's
But
the best place to
ultimately,
find you? Instagram,
best place
Facebook?
to find me right now, if
Yeah.
you want me to be active, TikTok, because that's where I'm putting all my focus at. So you can find me
Nice.
on TikTok, Hope 92, Hope Watkins 92. But everything from TikTok do go to Instagram. So if you're not a TikToker, we on Instagram with it. That's Hope C.O. Watkins. And then Facebook Hope Watkins. So you already know what time it is. Or anywhere at YBIN print, or YBIN print across the board. So you ready to dive into this good old conversation?
Whew.
We got some heavy hitters
I
today, man.
hope I hope I'm ready.
We got some heavy hitters. Got some heavy hitters. Listen, first of all, we working on God's perfect number today, episode 7. It's truly a blessing to be here. When I first went to Dom about this, I knew she was gonna side on me. I didn't even know if we was gonna make it past the pilot, but I'm so grateful, so blessed to make it to episode 7, man. When we get to episode 10, I might cut a rug on this mug. I just
I'm
want y'all to
excited
know.
about it.
I
I'm
might
really,
cut a
really excited.
rug, okay?
I've
Might go
learned a lot
down.
along the way, for
Okay.
sure.
And
1000%.
before we hop into these conversations, Dom got some new projects. I feel like you should tell the people about those new projects. She just dropped her new YouTube. Make sure y'all head over to her YouTube. Get some, man. Listen, she sent me this one pager right about going into the meeting, feeling yourself. I've been doing it wrong all this time. I'm about to walk into the meeting, boy. They about to cut me $1 million check after this. I'm trying to
Hey.
tell you, you better get that one pager. If you ain't got that one pager, you better get that one pager. I'm just trying to tell you. But tell the people about what you got going on before we hop into this conversation, though.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Hope, for bringing that up. So, I do have a company called Courage Catalyst Consulting, and I started a YouTube channel. I just released my very first episode yesterday evening, and my goal is essentially to help other professional working people show up in the best version of themselves, whether they are an entrepreneur or if they're working in corporate America. And it will be topics that I'll talk about, such as like navigating personalities, right, in that meeting, or just having boardroom confidence, or what are the best ways of maintaining a friendship in the workplace. Like a lot of the things that we need to know, and some things it's kind of like those silent things that you should know but may not know, but I'm really excited to dive into a lot of those topics and just um, be a leader in that space to where we can converse about the best ways of handling ourselves when we are doing business as professionals. So I am at youtube.com/co-catalyst, COCATALYST. Again, go ahead on YouTube. You can like it, share it, comment, give me feedback of topics you would like for me to touch on, and really again, I'm just excited about starting the channel because I want to take everything that I learned when I was in corporate for over 13 years and be able to hand it to the audience on a silver platter so we can have some etiquette. So thank you again for that, Hope.
Also, y'all entrepreneurs, y'all know I love y'all. But I really feel like if you a business professional on my page, you should tap in with cause like she got
Thank
a
you.
lot of insight. She can I say where you worked at for 13 years? I don't know if you want to do a shameless plug.
We'll give we won't say the name of the company, but we
She
can
worked at
give like the
a Fortune
industry.
500 company for
Yeah.
some time. So she got some jewels that she could definitely give you, and she's an open book. So make sure y'all tap in, man. I can't wait to her first live. Boy, I'm being there pen and pencil, like, oh, I'm getting all of these nuggets. You feel me? I got the cheat sheet because I could just call her and ask. So I'll be cheating, but I don't care. I'm still in all the lives. I'm doing everything. You feel me? So make sure y'all tap in. CCC, that's how I remember it. You feel me? I know it's a tongue twister, but it's definitely worth your time, your energy. So definitely tap in because when she go live
Thank
or whatever, I'm definitely gonna be sharing it or whatever. So if you can't find her, you can always find it on my page somewhere. Matter of fact, her website or her YouTube, one of them, is on my page right now. Y'all should go like it, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. It's on my page already. So make sure y'all go do all of that. All right.
Thank you, Hopi.
Now that we got all the politics out the way. Oh, wait, we got one more politic. Cousins. Just we this our first social media. We just opened our first social media outside of YouTube, man. Make sure y'all go follow us on TikTok, man.
Oh
That's probably
yes.
the only social media platform that we're gonna have to tell y'all the honest to God truth. So if you want to find us, it either be on TikTok or YouTube. I don't think we taking our talents to Instagram or Facebook. Those will go from our regular pages. So make sure y'all tap in, go like, share, and add us on TikTok. Cousins the podcast, man. I'm trying to tell you,
Yes.
all the good clips is over there.
Yeah.
I gotta shamelessly plug one more person.
Of
I mean,
course.
one more business. Make sure if you are in the Houston area, Houston, Texas area, you go tap into all four of my locations. Hill and Harvest. We got two on the north, one in Katy, um, and one off of Maine, not far from NRG. So make sure y'all go tap in. Gotta shamelessly plug the plug, man. We gonna be at Loud Fest this weekend with my guy Derek McKinney. Man, y'all already know how Loud Fest go. Good times, good vibes, good music, good food. We going crazy. So make sure y'all tap in with us. We at Lord have mercy. Shout out to my guy Al. I done forgot the name of the bar, my guy. I'm so sorry. But we at the bar with it in Katy. I'm gonna make sure I put it in the comments, man, because that is terrible. We did plenty
Wait,
of
wait,
it.
wait. I got another shameless plug too,
Well,
but
let's
hold on,
plug them
cuz.
then.
So this is a temporary situation. So we need to just go ahead and give it a shout out to Black Tech Saturdays. Okay. This is a nonprofit organization that is rooted in Detroit, Michigan. It is very close to my heart. And essentially, this organization is bridging the gap between people of color and technology. Okay, so if you are tech curious, you are a founder, you are an investor, you're thinking about doing something but don't know exactly where to start. Black Tech Saturdays is actually on a road show and they are currently in Houston this week.
Yay,
Okay.
yay.
So please, they have an event going on today, October 28th at 7 p.m. I know that's in a couple minutes, but just let you know. Tomorrow they got a Founders Uncut, and then on October 29th, they got Mom Fest, and they even got a content day, y'all. So you can make sure you got them professional headshots so you could really network. If you want more information, please, please, please go to blacktechsaturdays.com or go to Instagram Black Tech Saturdays, okay? Because they have all of the information you need to know. If you are in Houston, please make sure you stop and show some love, but also pour into yourself and love on yourself, especially if you are in tech, okay? Because we know there is nothing constant but change, and you need to make sure you're on that tech wave. All right, so I
For
wanted to
sure.
make sure I plug that in.
And they do stuff that, man. When I say that this is this organization, y'all, literally does something at least 2-3 weekends out of every month, and it's always tailored to the people, man. It's one of my favorite organizations right now, and not just because it's with them, but ever since I even before she got with them, like she invited me out to one of their events. I, listen, unmatched. The network opportunities, the just like she said, you definitely pouring into yourself if you attend one of the events. Is definitely worth it. And just to recap on the shameless plugs. The bar that I was talking about is called Southland Bar and Grill. So make sure y'all
Sorry,
go
sorry,
pop out
sorry,
the
Hope.
Southland Bar and
Sorry.
Grill and have a good time at Loud Fest this weekend. Come see us. I got all kind of goodies for y'all. All the kind of green goodies that you think you need, we got those for you. So come pop out, see us. We got a table. And then always we in there rocking with Derek. So I think we should make this a segment, by the way, where when we open up, we should shamelessly plug everybody we love because
As
ain't
we
nothing like showing
should.
love to other people. So I like that little segue. I like that little
Yes,
segue.
yes, yes. That good job, Hope. Good job. Good
So
job.
look, we about to hop into some hot stuff right now. Okay, episode 7 dives deep into a lot of different things, but the first thing that I want to touch on is family secrets and unspoken truths because man, this topic alone could probably just we might not even leave off of this topic. Honestly, we might have to spin the block and do a part 2 because and I've talked about this on other podcasts. Family secrets, they can run deep. They can run generations and they can affect generations moving forward. When we don't speak on those things. So let's dive into, what we call in the hush hush topics in the black and brown family. So, mental health, addiction, favoritism, and then you got that one uncle that you don't talk about, that uncle right there. And let's not get it twisted. Let's be fair. You can have that one auntie too. So let's not make it a gender thing, you feel me? But you got that one family member that you might not be so proud of, but nobody never talks about it. And the only people who get hurt from that is either people in the family or whoever their next victim is. So let's talk about it, Dom. Let's dive deep down into it. I know this a touchy subject for us, without getting into a lot of details and all of that stuff, but it got to be said, it got to be talked about. So, let's jump right into it. Um, for me, we in the same family, so you know how I go. We definitely got some family secrets. I and I and listen, it's not even family secrets, just stuff that you just didn't know. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, remember, I just told you I found out something that I'm 33 years old and never knew this until last week. So, and sometimes family secrets are not family secrets on purpose. It's just probably a dark time that nobody talks about, never gets brought
Hmm.
up, but it caused a trickle down effect of other things to happen, and you never knew where it came from. You get what I'm saying? Like, if your mother is an addict, what started that addiction, what came before that, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody is talking about what actually starts these things. So that's what I want to kind of touch on, and just forgiveness, understanding, and being able to move past it. So I want to get your feedback and stuff first, and then we're gonna go from there.
Oh, you want to put it on
You the
me?
big cousin, it's only right.
Uh, you know what? Okay, so I'll just say that growing up, can you hear me, Hopi? Because I know it
I
was
can
kind
hear
of
you.
going in and out. Okay, so really what's interesting is growing up, we had fun.
For
Okay, we
sure.
always had fun. We always had that auntie we knew. Listen, they might cuss somebody. Okay, we ain't gonna say no names,
But
but you
they
know what
gonna
I'm
have
saying.
fun
Like
though.
you just have fun. You know the ones you don't play with. You know the ones that you might be like, grab your bag. You might have ones where you like, ooh, they treat me like I'm their favorite. Like we just have so many different family members. We just love, love, love so much. And we just will have a time, right? And I love that about our family because I thought we were really, really close knit. But as I got older, I started to see things from a different lens, right? I started to see, like, oh my goodness, maybe that uncle used to drink a little bit more than he was supposed to, and that's why he always talk like this. Is
I
he
love
might
how
be,
you said see
you
it from a
know.
different lens. Keep going. But I love how you just worded that because baby.
Yes, like you was like, oh my gosh, like okay, now it makes sense why this person acted this way, right? And so I started to think like, oh my goodness, like when I start to think about that person, or when I start to think about somebody else, like, oh, that's why they, was always sweating, or that's why, like, so interesting. You just really look back on the
They wasn't hot
behaviors
flashing, they was just
of,
drunk.
yeah, listen, but you don't realize that, right? Because you just like they having a good time. But the older I got, the more I realized
Mm-hmm.
that some of our family members were facing addiction. And, you know, I was like, well, dang, I wonder what really like led them to having the addiction that they had. And of course, we're not going to like call any names out or anything like that. However, I will say, growing up, I did experience that my grandmother was addicted to drugs. Okay. And growing up as a young girl, I never knew exactly what that looked like. I didn't know or understand why things were happening the way that they were. I just knew that that was my grandma.
Right.
Okay, I don't care what was wrong with her because I was loving on her regardless. I was, she would take me to the store when I would see her, but then there would be plenty of weeks where I didn't see her. And so again, I never knew exactly what it was. And the older that I got, I will say that it made it harder for me to have compassion because I did not understand it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think I've ever shared this with anyone, but I'll just be very transparent. Like, you know, my grandmother wasn't at my graduation. And I was really,
Mm-hmm.
really sad. You know what I'm saying? It was because she was out doing whatever she was doing. But it
Right.
just made me really sad because you really don't understand the battles that they are going through and you take it personal. You really will take it personal. Have a very close loved one that's going through addiction, and you be like, but what about me? Or, why didn't they show up for me? And guess what? It's not about you. It could be everything about them. They may not want to, show up and present themselves in that way, especially because you just it's embarrassing.
Right.
That's really all I could chalk it up to is that they don't want you to see them like that, especially if it's somebody that they really love and they don't want to hurt, but they still have to deal with whatever they're battling. And so, I don't know. I just feel like my heart just goes out to anybody I see that experiences addiction, and it doesn't necessarily have to be drugs. It could be gambling. It could be, we all got addictions, whether it's eating or shopping or
Mm-hmm.
like um different ways of having addiction, and drugs is not necessarily the only way. However, I know just growing up, I experienced family members going through mostly drug addiction, and it's really painful. Like when you look back on it, because it's like, dang,
For
I
sure.
didn't really have a
For
lot of
sure.
examples of other things that were going on. All I knew was that we always had a good time and that my family loved me, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But I now looking back, of course, we can't change anything. I just wish that I would have had more of an example of other things that, would have been a good reflection of like helping
Yeah.
me grow up and
And the thing
move to the
about
next
looking
level.
at something from a different lens, you can't look
Mhm.
at just that one thing. Once you look at that one thing at through a different lens, you gotta widen the scope of things.
Mhm.
Because once you start looking at it through a different lens and realizing like, okay, I might got some drunks, I might got some alcoholics, then you gotta look at a bigger lens of where did it come from? Why is it like this?
Mhm.
And why is nobody, because we have family members who were doing, good for themselves, but they just didn't come around. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like my mom told me we got a cousin in Atlanta that's like a profile lawyer.
Mhm.
Don't
We
know
do.
him. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
just those wasn't the ones that was around to show us anything. And they come we what I had to realize, I'm saying this to say what I had to realize. Once I looked through a different lens, caused me to realize they came from a different era in a different time where partying was the thing. Getting high was the thing. That's what they did. You get what I'm saying? Especially that 70s era, like that was just what it was. And so when I realized that, I'm like, okay, is deeper than she just woke up one day and was like, I want to drink. Like she seen that somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? She seen somebody else doing it, and well, or he seen somebody else doing it, and he ain't had nothing else to combat it. You get what I'm saying? Like, yes, my mom is a recovering addict, but I was blessed to have other people around me to see, like, oh, this is not it. This is not the move.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can go down this road, but it's gonna make life harder for you. And then once my mama started getting clean, like that's when the doors really opened. It was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Like, this is not even a regular thing. Like, some people don't even drink at all. Some people don't do drugs at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a thing. And so, let's not just equate it to drugs and alcohol. Like, even with jobs and money and stuff like that. Like, we talked about this. It was a time where I thought being late on your bills was regular. Like, everybody did that because that's what I was accustomed to. That's what I seen. Then I moved to Texas, and they moved different. They got
Mm-hmm.
everything on auto pay. They paying early. They in the bed by 8 o'clock. Liquor stores close at 9, and they not open on Sundays. Like, stuff was different. I was like, oh, y'all serious around this mug. Okay, let me tighten up a little bit. You feel me? And so it was just it was weird. It was different, but I like the wording that you use as far as seeing it from a different lens, because sometimes that's what it takes. Like, sometimes you got to remove yourself out of the situation. And
Mm-hmm.
like when I moved to Texas and remove myself out of my Detroit ways, it really opened up my eyes to show me, like, there's more stuff out here. There's, what I'm saying, there are different things that you could be doing, different moves that you could be making. And in Detroit, we followers, man. We follow the pack. And the best thing I ever did was move away and realize that you can stand on your own and not be like everybody else, and it's okay. Like, you still gonna find your tribe, somebody you still gonna, you know what I'm saying, you still gonna have your couple of friends, and it's gonna be okay. So I like how you
Do you have any thoughts about any of the topics that you mentioned, like mental health, the addiction, favoritism?
I know they say favoritism is not real, but it really is. But I will
Mm-hmm.
say this: favoritism, when you have multiple kids, I think every parent has a phase of favoritism where they like one of their kids more than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, growing up, I feel like Nikki was my mama's favorite. But
Okay.
then at some point, Sierra became my mama's favorite. And then at some point, Chucky was my mama's favorite, and so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? So
Were
I
you
think
ever
it's
your mama's favorite?
I've been the favorite of this whole time. I it never stopped.
Oh Lord. Hey, that's between you and your siblings, child. That is not
I'm
my
the
fault.
favorite that never
That is not my
her
fault.
favoritism never goes away from me. So I'm okay with that. You feel me? Like, we ain't gotta talk about that. They already know I'm the favorite. Duh. See, you don't got that problem. It's just you. You feel me? Like, you don't got that problem. You wouldn't
Girl,
understand.
if you ask me,
But
I'm not neither one of their favorites.
girl, don't get us beat up on Beyonce's internet. They had to give calling my thing on phone talking about why she on Facebook telling them
Hey,
lies
I'm
on
just saying,
me.
this is the raw truth. Hey, just because you don't eat child don't mean you the favorite child.
So, how do you think addiction affects the family when it's kept a secret?
Ooh. Um, Interesting enough, I think that addiction is so loud that it is not a secret.
Nah, wait. Even
Because
at every stage and age,
I
like,
just, I mean, well, okay, if you mean like, I mean, honestly, it's not, it's again, it's still just not a secret. You just may not necessarily have the words to place what the addiction is. So, for example, like I just shared, when I was younger, my grandmother was addicted. You know, she was on drugs. I didn't know exactly what that meant because that was not necessarily explained to me. However, I could tell through her behavior. I could tell by the way she looked. I could tell by her absence. And then as I got
mhm.
older, then I started to be like, what's wrong with her? why am I in a halfway house? Why am I, you know what I'm saying? And I started
Right,
to
right,
put the
right,
pieces together. So it just got louder as I got older because I started to understand it.
right.
Um, so again, I think addiction is loud, especially when they have reached a point to where it's beyond their control.
As
Now, if
Xavier
you have,
said, it's
if
all
you
kinds of addictions, not just drugs or alcoholism. There were a lot of other addictions as well.
True. Now, and I think also you have to be, when you talk about like addiction and family secrets, I think you also have to just be around that family member to know that they have some kind of addiction. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't know everybody's business. I can say that if you have an immediate circle, you are likely to know probably what's going on with that with another family member and maybe the addictions that they're facing.
Mm-hmm.
However, so for example, if I had in my immediate family, if I know that one of my family members have an addiction, of course I know that, but I am not about to be the person to go out side of that circle and expose that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think like I don't operate like that. Um and honestly, I don't think if it doesn't affect anyone except for that person and their livelihood, then I feel like I am probably want to, if you will, keep it a secret because what does that have to do with anybody else? I think it's just something that they have to personally deal with. Now, if you feel like it's problematic, then maybe you need to intervene,
So you don't
and
think
have a
that
conversation.
addictions
But
automatically
I'm not
become
about to come to
problematic?
you and tell. I'm not about to come to someone else in the family and be like, oh yeah, have you heard that they um drink a lot or that they do this or I'm not doing that. I feel like that's an invasion of privacy and I just think that's not the right thing to do.
I think it's a thin line.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think growing up around addiction the way I did,
Mm-hmm.
I think that because we don't go and say, hey, I think Lulu over there, she killing that bottle too much. We might need to intervene. I think
Mm-hmm.
it enables them to keep doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But I understand where you're coming from as far as I don't want to be the messy one. I don't want to be going back and telling everybody business. But when it comes to addiction, I feel like at some point addiction gets messy for the entire family, especially when it
Mm-hmm.
as it gets out of control. So
Yeah.
I feel like if more people, and I'm not saying go be messy, tell the whole family. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is everybody got that matriarch in their family that we know that's who we're going to. You feel me? For us, if something happened to my mama today, we know that Nikki is in control. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nikki and Chucky, they gonna make the final decisions. We're gonna be there to support it.
Mm-hmm.
And of
Mm-hmm.
course, they gonna ask us, you know, how we feel and all of that. But at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, that's y'all the oldest. Y'all gotta that's on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Um, but if my sister started drinking today, first of all, the first drink I'm calling. I'm calling her husband. Like, sir, I ain't never seen my sister drink before. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me being in my book. That's not me being
Yeah.
messy or
Yeah.
starting stuff. That's me trying to get ahead of what I know could be the future for my sister because addiction runs in my family. You get what I'm saying?
Agree. And that's the thing though. And I think we may be saying the same thing is that if it's within the immediate family, deal with it in the immediate family.
Okay.
But as far as like when you say family secrets, I'm thinking like I'm not taking what's happening in the immediate family and going outside with that information to tell other family
So you
members.
mean when you say immediate family, just for people to understand, you mean
Not
if you are mom, dad, and siblings, it should stay in that.
like yeah, like mom, dad, siblings, and the nieces and nephews within that little circles, right?
Gotcha.
So like there is no mom and dad in my quote unquote immediate family. It's mom, stepdad, and then the